Thanks for joining us here on Sunrise. I'm Drew Carney, and we start your 6 o'clock hour with breaking news in southeast Portland. That's where a semi-truck is overturned on I-205. We have team coverage this morning. Chris McGinnis covering the traffic impacts. But first, Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz live on the scene for us. Thomas, what's the latest?
Well, Drew, we're still here on northbound I-205, and I want to show you what it looks like right in front of us. Once again, bumper-to-bumper traffic that we're seeing out here. This has been the case for the past hour and a half, 2 hours here that we've been on the northbound route of I-205. I also want to show you what this truck looks like. I want to show you some video from earlier this morning taken by our photographer, Chad Dehart. This was around 3:30 in the morning. You can see here the truck completely overturned, that semi-truck, boxes spilling out of it as well. We just learned from Portland police that investigators believe the semi-truck driver lost control after being hit by a suspected DUI driver. That semi-truck driver was not injured. The suspected DUI driver has been taken to the hospital as a precaution. Once again, Portland police believing the semi-truck driver hit by a suspected driver driving under the influence. Fortunately, it doesn't seem like there's any significant injuries right now, but once again, the DUI driver was taken to the hospital as a precaution. Southbound lane has reopened one lane. I want to show you another vantage point that we've got right here. This is on Holgate Boulevard, looking over I-205 southbound. That's where our photographer Eric Patterson is stationed. You can see that truck once again. Crews still working on it. ODOT crews trying to take boxes out of that truck over the past half hour as they continue to try to take it away from I-205 and reopen fully the interstate in both directions. Right now, both I-205 South and I-205 North here in southeast Portland is down to one lane moving freely, but it's a bottleneck to get there, right? Coming back out here live on the northbound route of I-205, this is here near the Powell Boulevard exit ramp. It's incredibly congested here at 6 in the morning. It's been this way all morning long. It doesn't seem like it's going to be wrapping up anytime soon. Once again, bumper-to-bumper traffic. If you are trying to drive on I-205 South, you do use this roadway for your morning commute. It's good to find other routes. Chris McGinnis has more on different routes to take to avoid this mess today.
Yeah, I'd say for starters, 82nd Avenue or 92nd Avenue, your best bet to get around that. This is, again, the live look from photojournalist Eric Patterson. They've got a lot of work to do to get this thing righted. And just for perspective, the latest ODOT traffic counts near Southeast Division, 165,000 cars and trucks pass this stretch of I-205 both directions each day. So this is obviously creating a huge backup, as Thomas pointed out. I can show you the red line on the freeway. This is Powell. There's the northbound one lane getting by, and northbound traffic is now backed up past Southeast Foster. Southbound traffic, again, the headlights here lined up out towards I-84. So a big mess on that side of town. Skip it if you can. 82nd, 92nd, or maybe even 122nd Avenue is going to be your best workaround to get around that. And obviously, that's going to be the story for the morning commute. The story weather-wise is this. It is gorgeous out there right now. The live look from our Wells Fargo sky camera showing brilliant blue sky. And at last check at the airport now, it's 57 degrees. The breeze, we're not feeling the breeze at the airport, but there are certain areas that are feeling a gusty east wind. And that downsloping wind off the Cascades is responsible for the notable warm-up this morning compared to yesterday. And that will boost our temperatures very quickly once we get sun up here in less than an hour. It's 63 in Aurora. Troutdale is at 68 degrees. Tillamook has been bouncing between 68 and now 70 degrees. Again, wind coming down off the Coast Range, helping to juice those temperatures up. So today, it's going to be a toasty Tuesday. Not record warmth, I don't think. Today's record's 92, but 88 certainly warm enough. And some parts of the Willamette Valley may touch 90 degrees this afternoon. So a warm Tuesday, and then we'll dial it back a little bit Wednesday and Thursday. Drew, we'll look at that part of your forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Chris. Let's get to some of our other local news headlines. A tentative labor deal is in place that could keep a group of Vancouver public school workers, including paraeducators and technology secretaries, from going on strike. Now, just last week, after months of negotiations, these workers voted in favor of a strike. A strike would shut down schools in the district, impacting roughly 20,000 students. Higher wages have been one of the main sticking points during negotiations. The workers told us that it's challenging to keep paraeducators on staff, and they say that leads to not enough adults at Vancouver Public Schools properly supervising the kids. In a statement to families, the school district says this deal came after tough conversations and a lot of give and take. Union members have until October 1st to vote on the new deal. If they agree to it, school board members will deliver their vote at their next scheduled meeting on October 14th. Another local strike also looming. This one would involve workers with Kaiser Permanente in Oregon and Southwest Washington, specifically unionized nurses and other health professionals who are bargaining with Kaiser alongside 60,000 members of the Alliance of Healthcare Unions in other states. Issues here include wages, working conditions, and the future of healthcare. If the union votes in favor of a strike, workers could walk off the job anytime after their current contract expires on September 30th. Kaiser says it's still optimistic that a fair agreement can be reached, and it also says patient care will not be impacted during the strike vote. They're chanting "one lunch." These are thousands of Seattle Public High School students who pushed back against the district's new lunch policy by walking out of class yesterday. Seattle Public Schools rolled out a new district-wide schedule this year that splits high school students into 2 separate lunch periods. Each period is still 30 minutes long, but students say time is not the issue.
I have a different lunch than all of my friends, so I have to eat by myself during lunch based off of the schedule they have currently.
In the end, it's not really equal or fair to us when it divides us when we don't have any problems with our lunch.
The school district made the change this year, saying that 2 separate lunch periods mean shorter lines, more seats, and a full half hour to eat, adding that it also gives kitchen staff more time to prep and serve the food. The district also issued a statement about yesterday's walkout, saying it respects the right to peaceful expression and is committed to listening to students' voices. Oregon Senate Republican leader Daniel Bonham is stepping down from his role. Bonham announced that he's going to resign from the Senate effective October 5th. He's backing Representative Christine Drazen to serve the rest of his term. Meanwhile, Senate Republicans elected Senator Bruce Starr as their new leader. Bonham has served in the Senate since 2023, and before that, he served in the House starting in 2017. All right, take a look at this now. A McMinnville police officer says a driver accidentally slammed into a business on Friday. This is a closer look at the situation there. The driver was apparently pulling out of the parking lot next door, hit the gas pedal while in reverse, and then rammed into the side of an addiction treatment center. A person inside was pinned between a desk and the wall. They were taken to the hospital, but they are expected to be okay. The driver also had minor injuries. All right, some news from Solve. I bet you this video pops up at any moment. But if it doesn't, I'll tell you, oh, there we go. Thank you, Solve. Solve hosting a big cleanup event in downtown Bend this Saturday. It's the inaugural Pick It Up Bend, where volunteers will clean up litter between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. on Saturday. There are still slots left. If you want to sign up, you can go to solveoregon.org/bend. That's Solve Oregon, Chris McGinnis, .org/bend. That's a Saturday event, but we've got quite the week to get through. I'm typing in my computer right now.
Go ahead.
I said go ahead with your weather forecast.
I will do that. We will go full steam ahead here with, this is big news today that some of us near record warmth in our forecast this afternoon. Check this out. This is amazing, and a weather lesson in progress this morning to show you the power that the east wind can have here. With downsloping winds coming off of the Cascades and off of the Coast Range, this map is showing us the impact that that's having on our temperatures this morning. It's 25 degrees warmer in Tillamook than yesterday at this time. It's 6 to 10, in some cases 12 degrees warmer across the metro. Look at this, Battleground and Camas. You're in the 70s this morning. Troutdale and Gresham in the upper 60s. The east wind coming down off the Cascades, it compresses that area, you get heating, and so that's why the temperatures are already so warm before sunrise this morning. Beaverton right now sits at 67. Not everybody's feeling it. I mean, Salem's cool at 51, but just an indication that once the sun comes up, temperatures are going to warm rapidly for a lot of us, and Futurecast depicts that east breeze going throughout the day. Not everybody will feel this, but certainly the overall pattern inducing that east wind is what's going to drive our very, very warm forecast today. Not bright sun, I was going to say bright sunshine. Not yet. We're about 35 minutes away from sunrise, but again, clear as a bell out there this morning. 57 at the airport. Not reporting the east breeze at the airport, but a lot of locations are, and I do expect as we roll through the day that more folks will continue to feel that east breeze as temperatures warm into the upper 80s to low 90s this afternoon. Salem's pegged at 92, Portland 88 to maybe 90 in some backyard thermometers. The record high today, again, 92. So close, not quite, but still a very toasty Tuesday. We dial back the heat a little bit Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and let's not get lost that this is just awesome weather. Really, really nice forecast here for mid to late week. And then there is a shower chance here as we go into later Saturday and Sunday. How much rain at this point? It doesn't look like a huge deal, but we'll keep you posted for sure. Let's get you out the door with that big traffic alert. This is a huge deal for the morning commute. We mentioned this just a few minutes ago. 167,000 cars and trucks pass this location on I-205 each day. You're looking at an overturned semi that is straddling the median near Powell Boulevard, and only one lane of traffic is getting by. Photojournalist Eric Patterson there is live on the scene. That truck crash has been there since about 2:30 this morning, and there's a lot of work to do. There's the scene from Powell Boulevard, and you can see the lines on a traffic map indicating the traffic is lining up now both directions. I mean, we're parked on I-205 northbound at Foster. That's that shot. And the southbound commute equally slow right now, as in it's barely moving at Division. So your best bet to get around this is probably either 92nd Avenue or 82nd Avenue, or maybe even 122nd. But Drew, that's going to be some time before they get that cleaned up. So likely a big story for our morning commute moving forward.
All right, thank you, Chris.